Facebook, or better known as Meta nowadays, is down around 75% off of its all-time highs. Is it a good time to buy it? Here's some of my thoughts after some initial research that I've been doing. So I think the obvious reason why everybody, at least off of this most recent earnings, is freaking out is because of just the insane amount of spend that they are putting into the metaverse. And, with not a whole lot to show for it, at least to the public at this point in time. There have been some interesting things, but it does seem very early on. So ultimately, this stock, which had for many, many years been a growth stock, a high revenue growing growth stock, as well as very profitable, was slowly turning into a value stock, where, its valuation was relatively low, but it was, it wasn't growing as much as it had in the past, and it was very, very, very profitable. But now it's back into a spec stock. But the problem is that its revenue isn't growing, and its profitability is declining, and its balance sheet which was once one of the most attractive looking balance sheets out there, very quickly becoming nowhere near as attractive as it once was. So I think it is an interesting buy at this time. I'm not buying it. It's becoming very cheap from a price to earnings perspective, but it is extremely speculative in my opinion at this point in time, just based on the amount of spend that they're putting into the metaverse. Like, that is, of course, their number one investment at the moment, and it appears that they're kind of sacrificing everything. I wouldn't say everything, but they're really just putting everything they have into the metaverse. They are making a few smaller investments, such as in their Reels, which is kind of a challenger to TikTok's short form video feeds. And so that is one more near-term investment that they are putting money into, which I am bullish on that. I think that's less speculative. And they are showing some numbers, some metrics there. But as far as their metaverse, there's not really any major metrics we can look at. In fact, one of the only metrics is that their VR headset that is out in the market now, I believe, declined in sales. I wasn't sure, I forget if it was month over month or year over year or quarter over quarter. But it did, I do remember them saying in the earnings call that it's actually declined. So that's not a good metric. The one metric we are getting in terms of the metaverse is not even good, despite this insane spend that they're putting into it. So I think to an extent it's reasonable, its drop in share price based on this insane amount of spend. I believe they're spending around $20 billion a year on the metaverse. Now, to put that into perspective, Snapchat's entire market cap at this point in time, I believe, is around $16 billion. So they are investing more than the entirety of Snapchat's market cap value in the metaverse on an annual basis. So the scale is just absurd. I can't recall anything, any single thing that a company has put that much money into on an annual basis, ever. So I just think it is speculative. We don't know for sure if the metaverse will even pan out while they're investing this amount of money. And there's no signs of slowing down. If anything, based on the earnings call, which I just listened to, it sounds like he's actually planning on increasing it somewhat from its current rate. So I think buying Meta, it does have some value stock attributes in terms of its valuation at the moment compared to how profitable it is. But the massive investment in the metaverse really does turn this into a speculative stock. And I think for someone to put a substantial amount of money into this stock, I really think it's a bet on Mark Zuckerberg. I think that's the number one thing you're betting on at this point in this stock if you're buying it. is betting on Mark Zuckerberg and his ability to execute, as well as the rest of the management team, of course. And while I do like Mark Zuckerberg as a CEO, just looking at his track record, Facebook is still one of the most profitable companies in the world, I believe. So I don't think you can question his execution in the past, but this is a whole new chapter. So, and this is kind of unprecedented, this amount of spend, investing in something where, again, we don't really have any metrics to say that it's looking successful at this point in terms of the metaverse. So I really think you're betting on Mark Zuckerberg buying this stock here. So, which is why I'm currently out. I'm not invested at all. And, and I think there are some other headwinds that I don't like. For example, now Elon Musk is becoming somewhat of a competitor. We still need to see, like, currently Twitter isn't a direct competitor kind of to Facebook. They're pretty different platforms, but it sounds like Elon is going to change a lot of things on Twitter. So I wouldn't want to compete against Elon. So I'm out. That's it for the video. If you like it, leave a like, subscribe. See you next video.